on the ground, nigga, I stand. I'ma face my problems, no helping hands. I'm just saying that I never ran. I had the ball in spite of the pain. I was tired of the losses, I wanted the game. I want the whole world to know my name. If I make it out, no, I'm bringing the game. They my brothers, yeah, they know my pain. We don't share a mind, but I love them the same. Gotta stay humble, now I stay in my lane. Never let the money fuck with my brain.
Hey, welcome to Dream Tour, the podcast where we take you on a tour of many different types of people's dreams, goals, aspirations. We like to get you to know some people out here. I'm your host, Lucas Watson. Now let's get you all introduced to our special guest. What's your name?
My name is Jmar Moore.
All right, Jmar, where are you from?
Akron, Ohio.
Akron, Ohio. What was it like growing up there? Did you like it? Or
I like it a lot. You know, a lot of people don't.
a lot of people complain about Ohio. I like Ohio.
I have no problem with it. It's a mixture of
I like
things.
having seasons.
Yeah.
I do like having seasons. Like the summer's fun, but like I get tired of being hot every day. I like the winter, but that also gets tiring.
Yeah, I like the different mixture of things.
Yeah.
I don't like the same thing every single day. Or
Ohio's one of those states, like it's a good mix of everything, because like you go to California or Texas, like the people all act one way. In Ohio, there's so many different types of people, and they all are. Ohio's a pretty nice, like in general, people are pretty kind. I think so. And they're better than like it's not New York, you know. We're not out here cussing each other out in the street every day.
Yeah, because I mean, I never really like felt like people were rude or anything before. Then I went to Virginia Beach for like my 21st birthday, and everybody out there was like super nice, so it felt like way different than like Akron. So there's different places in the country where it's people act differently. And Ohio, I feel like, has a really good overall vibe to it. Like it's just it's a pretty cool place. So far, everyone on the show has been from Ohio, but we're venturing out and we're getting to know people from everywhere. But luckily, everyone being from Ohio, you're running a business, right? Yeah. So you're running a business. We're gonna hopefully get you to know some people out here in the crowd to maybe do some business with you. But now I got my first question of the podcast for you. You ready? Yep.
All right. So what is either your earliest memory or your earliest story of what you wanted to be? Like maybe like, you know, you go to kindergarten, they say, what do you want to be when you grow up? What was that for you?
Well, I think the first thing I wanted to be was a baseball player.
A baseball player?
Yeah.
A lot of people grow up wanting to be athletes. I wanted to be a football player.
Yeah, like I know at one point in time I wanted to be a veterinarian, but I think everybody wants to do that too. So.
All right. So so you wanted to be a baseball player. Like, why did you want to be a baseball player?
Well, I grew up with my grandma, so like that was her favorite sport. So that's all we did was just watch baseball all the time.
Yeah.
My dad liked baseball too, but you know, so basically that's all I did was just watch baseball.
You played baseball as young. Did you play through high school?
I didn't. I started playing, but then I wasn't. My attendance wasn't good for school, so I couldn't.
It happens. Yeah. So what do you do now?
Now, I guess I'll say a retired MMA fighter.
A retired MMA fighter?
Well, I guess I said I was retired, but it's just I got to get, you know, a lot of things in order with my life first before.
There's other things than your athletics than to get.
Yeah. Because I mean, my last fight was less than a year ago, but I can't get in the gym consistently because, you know, I'm running the business.
Yeah, you have a lot of work.
Yeah.
So your business, it's Marz Contracting?
Yeah, Marz Contracting. Remodel houses. Specialize in bathrooms and tile showers. So, but we do a little bit of everything.
Now, there's probably some people watching this podcast that could need a new bathroom. So hopefully, or listening to the podcast, anyone that needs a new bathroom, Marz Contracting, that's where you go. So how can you make a connection between wanting to be a baseball player and athlete to becoming a contractor and working on houses? Is there any way you can like connect those for us?
Well, any sport, you know, teaches you, you know, dedication and you know, it's a lot of
accomplishing your goals, like
and hard work. And, But I know for fighting, for sure, it really taught me a lot because when things get tough, you can't just like give up in the fight or you know it's over. So it's a lot of times in remodeling houses or really pretty much any job, but especially like remodeling houses. And when you're the person that has to make all the decisions on how to do things.
Oh, yeah.
Like if things aren't how you think it's going to be, like say if I was to want to remodel this room or something like that, I'd tear down this wall, it might be black mold or something that you don't know, or it's a lot of, or wiring maybe
you can't
wrong.
just throw in the towel when something goes wrong on that.
So
just like in fighting, you can't just throw in the towel when someone lands a punch.
Yeah, and it's a lot of times like you might get damaged material from the store, and you got to figure out best way to continue moving. It's a lot of things that go on, so like it can be like super frustrating at times, but I've been training and fighting for over 5 years, and I've been doing housework for a while, so I'm kind of used to it, and I know how to handle the things.
Having experience is just something that like there's nothing that can substitute for experience.
True.
Nothing substitutes for doing it over and over again, messing up and figuring out why you messed up and doing it better next time.
Yeah.
There's no substitute. All right. So like being an athlete, it taught you discipline, it taught you like how to work for your goals, getting that feeling of winning that game. That's like that's what carries a lot of past athletes in their life. Winning that game, winning that fight, you can translate that over to finishing that job, getting that paycheck.
Yeah. Teaches you a lot of responsibility for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So,
sports are
like, especially with MMA, it's not a team sport. It kind of is, because at the gym, it's a team. But like, if you're not in there putting in the work, doesn't matter how good your teammates are. If you're not putting in the work or how hard they're working, doesn't matter.
And you're just a really excited fan.
Yeah, pretty much. So.
Yeah. All right. So so do you have anything like coming up with Marz Contracting? Anything that's going on right now? Or just like a day-to-day breakdown, what you usually do?
Pretty much, I'm still working on like a house down in Canton. It's, did 2 bathrooms and a kitchen there. So, but, still picking up jobs here and there, so still getting calls every day about
always nice
stuff,
to get some calls. Hopefully this video gets you a couple calls. You meet a couple people that need some bathrooms, need some remodeling. So 5 years from now, where do you see yourself? Do you see yourself still doing contracting, doing a new type of business, or?
Well, I still see myself being a contractor, but I probably wouldn't be doing it day-to-day work as much. I know for sure I was planning on having a few salesmen and workers. Because right now it's just me. Sometimes I have a few people working if I have a bigger job, but most of the time I do most of the work myself. So, I mean, which I enjoy. I just don't enjoy like the sales part of it.
Yeah, the sales part.
So,
some people, sales is their thing, and some people getting the work done, planning it out, managing, that's their thing.
Yeah, because like honestly, I'm not a talkative person, so anytime I, talk as if I have something to talk about, but I don't like sales, so it's like hard for me to.
It's hard for you to like you don't want to push yourself onto someone. I understand that. Sales can feel like that. It can feel like you're pushing your way, and like you don't want to force someone to have you remodel their bathroom, but you'd love if they would, right? All right. So 5 years from now, do you interested in like flipping houses at all? A lot of people who can do that type of stuff, like if you could get the money together, would it be something you're interested in?
Yeah, actually that's kind of what got me into it in the first place. Well, I've always, had my hands into it because my granddad was a contractor. So he always fit stuff around the house whenever, and I always watched him fix different things and build certain stuff. So that got me interested. And then, like, when I was 17, I had a summer job working for this lady. She owned a bunch of properties, and she worked for another guy that owned a bunch of properties. So all we did was fix up the houses right before, if somebody moved out, fix them up, cut the grass, paint them, stuff like that, and get them ready for the next tenant. So when I was working with her, she always told us to, get into real estate, things like that. So
real estate's a great place to be.
Yeah, like, I heard her at the time, but I wasn't listening.
You weren't listening.
And then probably about like a year or two later, it like really hit me,
Yeah, you're like, oh, I hear that now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that I heard when I was in my high school age and that I didn't hear until I was turning 20.
Yeah, it's like every day I, have a realization of something that somebody told me before, even though it's not like I didn't believe them before,
Mhm.
but it's just like, a lot of stuff you got to see for yourself.
Yeah, that's how life is. It teaches you as you go. People might try and give you that foot up, but it teaches you as you go, and if you want it to or not, it's going to teach you a lesson. All right, so on this podcast, we don't only want to know about your business. Like, we like talking about the business, we like talking about what you do, but we want to get to the deeper level, like why you do what you do, what motivates you, that type of stuff. Are you ready for the deeper part of the podcast?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You ready? All right. So we'll start with an easy one. What motivates you? Are you motivated from inside? Do other people motivate you?
It's a combination of both. Some things that I have to motivate myself with,
Mhm.
but a lot of things like, my friends and family motivate me, or seeing even like strangers. I love seeing people do good and do well for themselves. So it motivates me, but
Mhm.
and I also want to, do better so I can help other people out also.
Yeah,
So,
of course.
It's like a combination of things.
Little combination of both. So, like, when it comes to your business, like getting up in the morning and going to work, what's your motivator for that? Or, like, is that I just want to get up, get my grind in, or is it I got to take care of mine,
I mean, honestly, it is kind of hard some days, but most part it's because I actually love what I do. I don't do it just for the money.
That's
so it makes
great.
it
That's great.
easier. Like, if I just did it just for the money, I probably wouldn't be doing it anymore, to be honest.
Mhm.
'Cause-
Yeah.
But I like working with my hands, so it makes it easier. But I don't get paid unless I complete a job. So I gotta
You got to put the work in.
yeah. So that makes me get up too. I gotta go get paid so I can take care of the bills and
Mhm.
family and stuff. So
All that stuff. All right. So, oh wait, you were saying about like just other random people even. One thing I always love to talk about on here is like when it comes to random people, one thing I've been practicing is like trying to make every interaction, like every conversation with a random person, like a positive impact. Like I don't want to talk to someone and just blow them off. Like if I have the opportunity to be a positive part of some random person's day, even if it's as much as a hey, how you doing, like a smile instead of stalemate face walking around. So many people walk around like there's nothing good, there's no like they're just straight on their task. Like take the time to give someone a nod, just nodding to someone at the gas station, that can make someone's day better.
yeah, because honestly I'm kind of guilty of that too, because I just got like a straight face most of the time.
Yeah. I mean, I don't walk around like big smile all the time, but I try and think about it. Like it's like a new thing for me. I've just been recently working on it this past few months, but like just trying to make myself a positive part of the community,
Yeah, for sure.
It's always interesting to see people walking around. I never took notice until I started this show and started to like I tweet positive things all the time. So like I've been trying to keep this positive mentality and attitude, and it's not easy. A positive mentality and attitude is the hardest thing I've ever had to do is to keep positive. But
yeah, because I like to think that I'm a positive person, but it is a lot of times where I just get like frustrated, like especially if you go to Walmart or anything like that, you see how rude people are.
Yeah.
People don't have manners, like they bump into you or walk right in front of you without even say anything. So sometimes that like really frustrates me.
Yeah.
But I have to realize, they've probably only seen stuff like that
their whole life. Yeah.
So.
It's so simple, but it's so hard. Like if every single person decided I'm gonna be nice to everyone would be nice to everyone. It's that simple.
Yeah.
But how do you get people to do that? How do you get people to do that? But
yeah, and that's what I realized too. Like I worked at a grocery store for 3 years,
Mhm.
and people would come in there with attitudes and take it out on me. At first, I didn't realize, I would
Like,
it
it
I
had
took
nothing
it
to do with you, yeah.
I took it personal at first, and then after a while, I realized like a lot of people are having bad days and they don't know how to take it out, or they don't know how to express themselves, so they take it out on the easiest thing to take it out on, and
whoever's
that person
packing
at the
your
grocery
bags,
store
whoever's
is the easiest
making your
person a lot of
sandwich,
times.
It always like blows my mind. It's like, what did that person who's working that job, like say you're working at Subway, like he messes it up, like hey man, could you please fix this? Like, you must not have heard me. I'm sorry. Like, could you fix this? You don't have to, like, people get angry. Like, everyone has messed something up at their job. Every single person. And why can't you think of that when someone else messes up? Why can't you think of the time you messed up when someone else messes up?
That's like, that actually just reminded me of maybe like 2 weeks ago. It wasn't long ago. I was at McDonald's going through the drive-thru, and they handed me the food, and this guy pulled into the drive-thru the opposite way. I mean, it's like 2 lanes, but he pulled into the opposite lane, but it's all one way. So he got out.
Went going the wrong way.
Yeah, he got out the car, and when the ladies handed me the food, he walked around to the window and was upset because he didn't have bacon on his burger or whatever it was. And it really made me mad because I was already kind of in a bad mood that day. So, but, you know, I just had to hold my tongue and not say anything. But he was just, like, super rude, and it, like that irritates me more than anything.
Like, if there's something wrong with it, you can get it fixed without being an ass. Like, it's not that hard. It's really not. It's not as hard as it seems to not be mean to the McDonald's worker, not be mean to the Subway worker, whoever it is. All right, I got another question for you.
Okay.
So everyone has someone who inspires them. I want to hear about one person that you know who inspires you, and then another person who like maybe like that's out of your life. You know, someone that you see, but you don't know them personally, but they inspire you as well.
Okay. I guess I would have to say, like, well, one person that I don't know that inspires me or has always inspired me was Kobe Bryant.
Kobe?
Yeah, so,
R.I.P.
you know, I'm not, like, a huge basketball fan, but, like, Kobe's, like, well, I actually, like, I'm a Lakers fan, but I started off as a Lakers fan because of Shaq, and then, like, after Shaq left, I, like, grew to like Kobe, and I like this mentality, you know, they call it the Mamba mentality.
He's got a mentality that not a lot of people have.
So, like, that inspired me a lot, and, you know, always looked up to him, you know, so it's one person. And someone that I know personally, I guess it would be my best friend, JJ. So,
okay.
Like, he's a grinder.
He just works.
So, yeah, he's like super intelligent too. So, you know, and he's like really business minded. You know, I wasn't always business minded, so you know that he helped develop that in me also.
Yeah, he helped develop, like, turn you into the businessman that you've become. And
it wasn't he didn't do it intentionally, but I'm the type of person I learn from everybody around me, so, you know, I pick up on everything. So that's what it was. You know, paid attention to all the things that he was doing. Like, he bought a house when he was like 19.
Yeah.
You know, and that's something I wanted to do since I was like 17, 18. So, you know,
working on that.
Yeah. So that inspired me. You know, some people will be jealous or frustrated from it, but
it inspired you. Yeah.
So.
So who you surround yourself with is way more important than, like, you realize. There's a saying that's you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So if you choose to surround yourself with people who are working hard and people who are kind or people who are just good people, like, they don't even have to, like, I know of a lot of people. Like, I worked at a factory last summer or a warehouse loading trucks, and, like, there's people in there who hate their job, but there's always that one guy he makes his money, he does his job, and he's happy to just have his family and be alive and be working. And people like that are everywhere, and you can find good people everywhere. Just got to choose to be around them and stay away from that negative attitude that I'd say most of the world has. All right, you ready for the next question?
Yep.
All right. Let's get to know who you are. There's no way to get to know who you are without hearing stories about your life. So let's get a couple moments in your life, a couple stories from your life that you would consider, like, turning points or defining, like, things that happen, good, bad, it could be anything. Things that happen that changed your life to make you become the man you are today.
That's a good question. That's something I had to, like, really.
You want me to give you one real quick for me?
Yeah.
Dropping out of college, or I guess not dropping out, but dropping out of big college. I was going to Cincinnati. Like, you got to go to the big campus. You got to get that business degree. Like, I thought that was important. And I went there, and I was sitting in my entrepreneurship classes, and I was like, wait, why am I in a class learning about entrepreneurship? This makes zero sense right now. Why am I learning about doing things my own way? Like, they're teaching you to think. And I was already thinking that way. Like, I was already thinking about my own business. I already had business plans. This class was for people without. Like, in my mind, it was, you didn't have a business idea. You didn't know what you wanted to do. And that 4-year college didn't seem right for me. And I dropped out of that school, and I started going to Stark and started learning a skill I didn't have in website development and graphic design. And so, like, that moment of realizing, oh, man, I'm wasting my time, wasting my money. That was a defining moment for me. I don't have that many. I'm only 20, but that one was big for me.
Yeah, well, since you said that definitely, I had that same thing pretty much. Well, like freshman year, I pretty much dropped out of high school in 9th grade, pretty much. So I was hanging around, wrong crowd pretty much. But, over time, I was embarrassed about it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really tell too many people about it.
The past is the past, man.
Yeah, so for a while, I went to like an alternative school, which was like just like 4 hours a day, but you did a lot of the work on computer. And like I'm the type of person, like stuff like that, like studying, I never studied.
I can't sit down and.
Yeah, so it was hard for me to do work like that because if I'm not at a place doing something.
Doing it, I really with your hands in there, yeah.
It's just like working out for me. Like, I can't work out at home. Like, I have to go to the actual gym to work out, or else I'm not going to work out. But the point I was trying to get at is, I dropped out pretty much freshman year. I was still going to school, but it wasn't consistent.
Mm-hmm.
And I started working when I was 16, like about to turn 17. So, I was working ever since then, and I remember I was working at a grocery store, and they had a point system like most jobs do, And I think it was like 12 points per calendar year or something like that. So I was late to work one day, and they calculated the points wrong. So I actually had like 2 points less than what they thought I had, and they fired me. And at that point in time, because I think I was like 19 at the time, but I realized I couldn't just go up and go get another job because I didn't have a GED or anything. Well, so I thought I couldn't get another job. I didn't have a GED or a diploma or anything. So, I ran to like the library that same day, try to sign up for GED classes.
Yeah.
And I ended up not going just because like 2 days later, they called me back.
And they're like
my job at the time, like everybody there loved me. So and I was like one of the best workers. I was just late a lot, honestly.
Yeah.
So just because I lived like right up the street, so I felt like I could get.
You're like, I can make it.
Yeah.
And then...
But that brought me. They brought me back. So I didn't go get my GED at that time. But like that made me think I couldn't get a job, like just because I didn't have
that diploma.
Yeah, but then later on, probably about a year or two later, I got like one of the best jobs I ever had, which I always wanted to be an electrician, but I know I couldn't go do that because I didn't have a high school diploma. And I was comfortable at that job because it let me work whatever hours I wanted to, pretty much.
Yeah.
I could go to the gym, pretty much do anything. But like later on, probably about a year or two later, I ended up getting like one of the best jobs I ever had, which I was a contractor doing cable, but we got paid per job or whatever.
Yeah.
So, and I was making like $60,000 a year doing that. So, and that was without any type of
diploma or education. Yeah.
So that made me realize, like,
you don't need a piece of paper.
Yeah, because I never planned on going to college anyway. So, so I didn't really care about finishing high school as much. Like, I did, but I didn't. But it was more so I wasn't planning on going to college afterwards, so it didn't really make sense to, make it a priority because I had a job at the time. But Then I eventually got my GED while I was working that job, but it made me realize it really opened up my eyes for everything, like entrepreneurship, everything, because I was making this money. It was a hands-on job that a lot of other people wouldn't do, just because it wasn't really difficult, but it's just a lot of people wouldn't do or even think to do.
Yeah.
But I was making more than people that I know that are college graduates.
Yeah.
So without really having a formal education. So that made me realize, I can make.
You can make anything happen with your mind.
Yeah.
Once you, a lot of people never hit the realization, but if you believe that you can do it, you probably can.
Yeah.
If you believe that you can do it, it's possible.
Yeah, and that's another thing that changed my life, too. I read the book, The Alchemist, and I see you were reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I read both of those books within a short period of time, but that changed my mindset with everything. Because it's basically saying, like, if you, depending on what you believe in, like, whether you believe in God or, the universe, spirits, whatever. But it basically, that book, The Alchemist, explains that whatever you want in life, as long as you work for it, you will be rewarded for it. You just got to, work for it. God or the universe just has to see that you're working for it. And
could be a year, could be 5 years, could be 5 months. If you get up every day and you take a step in the right direction, at some point you're gonna step on your goal.
Yep.
You're gonna have to find a new one though, because reaching the worst thing about reaching a goal is you're like, man, it's like finishing a show on Netflix. You're like,
you kind of feel lost sometimes.
What do I do now? Yeah. But all right, let's move on to this next one. So this is where it gets real deep here. When you die, when you leave this earth, when the only thing left is your ancestors and what you said, or what people remember about you, what do you want to be remembered for? What do you want to represent?
Honestly, I want to make changes in people's lives, for, positive things. I want people to have open minds and not just follow the typical day-to-day that everybody else follows. You know, I want to open people's minds and stuff like that. I want people to think for themselves.
You want to be like JJ was to you to other people?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. And I want to be remembered for as a good human being, whatever, people feel like that is, I guess. But for me, it's just like somebody that, just wanted to see everybody else do better and help people do better. I want to, just help people. Cause
be who they want to be.
Yeah, cause life is super short, but it's long when you're miserable and you're not enjoying what you do every day. So I just want people to enjoy what they do and live a life worth living. So I just, that's pretty much.
Yeah. Every day spent thinking about how it could be better is a wasted day. Because if you have that day and you woke up that morning, guess what? Couple thousand people, maybe million people did not wake up that day, and you did, and should be glad about that. Most people, that's one thing that even when I'm having a bad day or in a bad mood, I don't always do it right away. It might take me a couple hours. I might waste the day thinking negatively. I've done it plenty of times. I can't say I haven't, but if you can take your mind and think, man, I woke up today. I didn't get robbed today. I didn't have someone in my family die today. I had a good day. I just didn't think I did, so I didn't. Whatever you think about that day happened. If you had a bad day and at the end of the day you think, man, everything went wrong. That whole job went wrong. There was water spraying everywhere out the bathroom. There was mold. Everything went wrong. But hey, at least I learned how to fix that problem in the future, how to prevent that problem. At least you learned something.
Yeah.
There's always a positive spin you can put on it.
Yeah, it's always that's what I do a lot. Like whenever things go wrong, I always say things could be worse. But I think I'm done saying that because it seems like things do get worse.
Things do get worse when you say they could be.
Yeah, but it honestly, it just could always be worse. You're not in a worse position in life.
You're never. If you're living, you're never in the worst part.
Yeah, and one thing over the last 5 years maybe, it's one thing I always like reiterate to myself is I'm pretty much responsible for 80 to 90% of what happens to me, one way or another. Like if worst thing, I'm in the wrong place at the wrong time and something happens, but still, I had the choice of being there. So.
Yeah, even like you get into a fight, you didn't start the fight, your buddy did. You chose to hang out with that buddy who you probably knew that he was probably going to start a fight.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably know that. So everything is decisions, but you can't beat yourself up about bad decisions either, because if you're beating yourself up, no one's going to help you. No one's gonna help you if you're on everyone else. Like if you're on the world side, if you're beating yourself up, like life beats you up. It's part of life, but it's doing it to make you stronger. And if you join on their side, you're never gonna get stronger if you don't fight back.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, because if you just sit there and take it, that's what's gonna keep happening.
You're gonna continue to sit there and take it. The second you stand up and you're like, wow, I can do that, and you're like, man, I'm gonna start throwing my punches, Yeah. Throw your punches back at life. Say, oh, you wanna ruin my day? I'm gonna come back at you life tomorrow, I swear. All right. So on our last question was, when you die, what do you want to be remembered for? Our next question hits even harder. If that day came tomorrow, would people remember you how you want to be remembered, or do you have some work to do, some progress to make?
I definitely got a lot of progress to make, but I mean,
you on the right path?
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
good.
I would definitely say that.
There's just plenty of people out there who, if you ask them that question, they'd be like, I want to be remembered to be this nicest guy, and then they look back and they're like, oh man, I haven't been nice at all.
Yeah. I mean, I do have my days, but
Everyone does.
But for the most part, like even when I first met you, met you at the gym, and try to help you with
just
what you was working on. Yeah, but I could have been, like, hey, I don't know you, I don't care.
Yeah. But you went out of your way to help the guy on his first day learn how to throw a proper punch.
Yeah. So yeah, I would definitely say, I'm working towards that. It is nowhere near how I want it to be, but
it's a good feeling to know you're going the right way.
Yeah, but most of the people that I say 90% of the people I interact with know.
Yeah.
But I mean, the
That's
only thing I just
That's
don't
great.
interact with a lot of people.
That's good though. That's good. If everyone you're interacting with knows who you want to represent, like, that's great. All right. So we're coming towards the end here. I got a few more things I want to talk about. But so this is the Dream Tour show. We talk about your dreams, your goals, and after everything we've talked about, what would you say is your dream?
I don't know how to answer that, honestly, but it's like a thing that everybody should know. But
well, you don't have to have like a definitive thing, but like with what we've talked about, I feel like every time I come on this show, I learn a lot about the person I'm talking to, and they learn about themselves. I learn about myself. So like, what have you learned that makes you think, like, what do you want now?
I guess I just want to have free life. I want to be able to do what I want when I want. So that's one thing, like owning my own contracting company allows me to do, because I have a 2-year-old, and growing up I always told myself I didn't want to like pretty much work for anybody else, because always like jobs that I worked at, they didn't care about me, so
yeah.
And I knew that, and I realized, like, if I have kids and I'm working a regular job, I won't be able to, like, say if my son has some sports event and
you're working.
Yeah, I'm working, and I can't get the time off to go enjoy the event. And because I had, like, I was in band when I was younger, and whenever my mom, dad, or my grandma wasn't there, it kind of made me feel a little weird about it. So even though I understood that they couldn't be there, but it still made me feel some type of way. So
that's that drove you to become a guy who wants to own his own business, run his own thing. And
I just see how that works. So, but yeah, I just want to be able to enjoy my life while I'm here, because you never know when that's going to be. The last day is going to be. So running a business, it's taking a lot of time now, but in a year
Once
or
you
two
build that
from now,
foundation.
yeah, it won't take as much time, and I could do what I want to do when I want to, and also help other people out in that process too by employing people and giving them work and helping them
being
out.
an employer that cares about it. It's like
Yeah, because that's one thing for sure. I never want to be
some of those managers you've had.
Yeah. So, like, I don't want to be the shitty boss. I mean, I'm sorry if I don't know if I'm allowed to say that,
it's all right.
but I don't want to be that. So, like, my main thing is I want to make sure I could take care of whoever is working for me, because I know they're dependent on me and they have people dependent on them. So,
Exactly.
But
All right, so we're coming right towards the end here, so I want you to just take a look at the camera and give everyone like where to contact you. You know, like where do you have a Facebook page? Anything that you want people to like look at, take a look at? Just list them off here so they can hear it from you and they can check you out.
Okay, you can follow my business page on Facebook. Is Marz Contracting, MARZ Contracting LLC. Also have an Instagram page for that. That's MARZ_Contracting LLC. Have a personal Instagram. I'm not really on too much. I don't really like taking pictures. So, but that's Planet Marz, and it's spelled kind of weird, which is PLVNET_MARZ. Facebook page. I don't really want to get that right now, but
That's all right. That's all right. Whatever you want them to reach you, you know.
All right, and then I have a website, marzcontracting.com, and it's pretty much.
That's it. All right, so thank you guys for watching or listening, wherever you're listening at, YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify, Buzzsprout, wherever you're checking us out at. Thank you for listening. And if you need a bathroom, you need something done in your house, make sure you take a look at Marz Contracting. Help someone out who's dreaming, you know, help the fellow dreamers out. So thank you guys for listening. Stay positive. Keep working towards your goals. You got this.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, I am a man with my feet on the ground, nigga, I stand. I'ma face my problems, don't help it hands. I'm just saying that I never ran. Yeah. I had to ball in spite of the pain. I was tired of the losses, I wanted the game. I want the whole world to know my name. If I make it out, no, I'm bringing the game. They my brothers, yeah, they know my pain. We don't share a mind, but I love them the same. Gotta stay humble now.